What's up, everyone out there? Welcome back to the Phantoms Fanatic YouTube channel. I am back with this week's review, which is of The Kingsmen. Not Kingsmen, the Secret Service, or Kingsmen, the Golden Circle. The Kingsmen. I don't fucking know. But it was released last year in 2021, I do believe. It was released in December of last year. I saw this year in 2022, so it was a bunch of confusing, jambly bullshit. But it stars Ray Fiennes, Jinman Hansu, I think how you pronounce his name. I'm not completely sure on how you pronounce that guy's name. Other actors, and it was directed and I think written by Matthew Vaughn, the guy who handled the other Kingsman movies. Now, I enjoy those movies. I'm a big fucking fan of the ultra-violent, awesome spy, fight capture stuff that happens in those movies. I also really enjoy the actors. That was my first really Colin Firth movie I've seen, and I really did enjoy the take he did on that, but I would have to say that this movie, The Kingsmen, the plot is the foundation of the Kingsman service, because it takes place in World War I, and you question, like, oh, what's all this stuff happening? Why is it happening? Why is this happening, you know? And, like, how World War I keeps escalating and stuff like that. It reminds me of X-Men First Class, which Matthew Vaughn also handled, and the way that it, you know, tackled the fucking Cold War in the way that, you know, you're questioning how all this is happening, and it's this outside force that this force has to go above the government system to deal with it. And this film does that, which is interesting, but I feel like that's one of my problems with it, but I'll get onto it. And then you follow the Duke of Oxford, Ray Fiennes, and his son, who wants to go to war and die for his country or something like that. And then you have Jinman Hansu as the Merlin stand-in. They even call him Merlin in this. And then you get a film that is very confusing, because I will say I did like a good amount of the stuff in this. For one, the actors, I really did enjoy them. I feel like Matthew Vaughn set himself up with such a disadvantage with this film by setting it in the World War I setting, because this movie, it doesn't feel like a Kingsman movie. Because one, there's none of the fight choreography style, which, to be fair, it's doing something different, but you should adapt it to that. And there's not even a lot of action in this. There's a lot of serious discussion scenes, but then you also have, like, funny moments that I don't think very jive well, and all of the, like, commentary I don't think is handled well in this. Matthew Vaughn is not a subtle filmmaker when he's fucking making something. The plot of the first two Kingsman movies are not subtle in their messages at fucking all, but I still enjoyed them for the other aspects. And this film, I feel, with its commentary on World War I and what's going on, why this could have happened and stuff like that, I don't feel like it was super interesting. I do like seeing, like, these other takes on stuff like Rasputin, you know, the story of him and stuff like that. And Ray Fiennes' character, he's a pacifist, and his son wants to go to battle. And I think it's a very interesting dynamic he has, where he tries to explain to his son, like, dying for your country is not honorable. I do not want to see that happen to you. But his son is like, I want to die with all my, I want to fight for what is right. And I feel like that plot line is good, but it's very serious. When in the Kingsman movie, of course, they had serious undertones, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of stuff in that, but I feel like this takes it to almost too far of a serious edge, to where I can't enjoy it. And the villain in this, who has a Scottish accent, which I just fucking enjoy in Scottish accent and hearing it, but it's like a twist and you don't really see it coming, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of fucking stupid and shit like that. But, also, the action I don't think is very good. You only get really two big fight scenes, and one half of them is good, and the other one is just really good. The first fight is against Rasputin, and they use like a music arrangement with that, and he's like dancing. I think that fight is the best in the film, and I thought the end sword battle against the big bad was good, but then like the lead up to that was kind of boring. I feel like the film is just not too entertaining. It has interesting ideas, and I feel like it does execute on them sometimes, but for one, it doesn't feel like a Kingsman movie, which I feel like is a problem that I have with it. I enjoy them. The only time that I got to see the Kingsman formula is near the end, and the plot itself I don't think is necessarily bad. I think it's drawn out, because you just get scenes of the characters rehashing the same ideas, and it's cool to see, like, the Kingsman start and stuff like that, and the interesting side plot between Ralph Fiennes' character, I feel like that's the more interesting story than the story of the whole, you know, why World War I is happening, or why the villain has motivations, but at the same time, it kind of matches with the other films, but I feel like the other films did it better, because they didn't try to do, like, this big twist reveal with who the villain is. That's what I feel like is a huge problem. And, like, I really do enjoy a lot of the film, but I feel like it's just, there's just something off that I can't necessarily explain. Like, the action scenes, I don't feel like they're Kingsman action. The music, I don't feel like is Kingsman music. So it's hard for me to say if I recommend this. If you're a fan of the other Kingsman movies like myself, and you want to see how this started, and this ends on sequel date, which is like, fucking Christ. But if you're going in as like a casual viewer, it's not that good of a plot, and like the commentary on World War I don't think is handled as well as even though the commentary was outright in the other ones, but I feel like it's just too stupid in some moments. I feel like he took things too stupid and too serious at the same time. Like, those really can't jive. Either go all serious or go half stupid. The Kingsman movies found a good balance, I feel like, but this one, it jives back and forth between like a war film, a spy film, and comedy when it comes to seeing these people fucking argue, and the over-the-top fucking performance by Rasputin's actor, even though I did enjoy it, and I enjoyed that fight scene. I just feel like this film is not as good as the other ones, and I would say if you wanted to see how the other films, you know, started with the Kingsman organization, then watch this. It gives that kind of a identification. And the plot line with Ralph Fiennes' son and him, I feel like, is very good. And there's decent action, I would say, but I feel like most of the time it's just kind of boring. I don't know, because, like, this twist villain, I'm like, okay, who the hell is this? Then it's revealed to be that guy. I'm like, well, how is this worth it in the end watching this if you're just going to pull the rug out from under us? And all the stupid scenes with the leaders, like, arguing with each other and stuff like that, which kind of was funny, kind of was not. But then you have serious moments. I feel like this film is a tonal mess at some points, which is a problem. But I definitely do recommend this if you're a fan of the Kingsman movies. If you are not, unless you want just like a okay-ish film to go see, then maybe go see it. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe down below. Please comment your opinions on the film. I always like seeing your opinions. And, yeah, see you next time.